Welcome back. You're still tuned into the morning show. Now, this Sunday, the 8th, marks the International Women's Day, a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. Well, here at home, we are celebrating a trailblazer of a woman, Sarika, who's the founder of the multiple award-winning agency 888, which does socially conscious and socially responsible work all over Africa, and it has a women-only management. Sarika, it's so great to have you here.
Lily, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming, particularly in the build-up to International Women's Day. So first of all, happy International Women's Day in advance.
And thank to you.
Thank
to all the women out there.
Yeah. I mean, what does a day like International Women's Day mean for you particularly?
I think International Women's Day is really about acknowledging what women have gone through historically in order to get to where we are. But it also means so much more than that. It's really about inspiring women, especially inspiring young girls in terms of their future. For us, it really means empowering young women and showing them that, you know, the future is in their hands.
Yes. And speaking of the future that is in the hands of young women, for people who are watching and don't know who Sarika is, can you tell us a bit about, but probably they don't know Sarika and they don't know 888 actually. Tell us about the work that you do as 888.
Sure. So I'm an actuary by qualification.
Yes.
I graduated at UCT. I spent many years working in corporate, actually in investment management. I used to consult to large pension funds. And in that time, I realized that there was a real potential and opportunity to make a positive change and an impact in the country.
Yeah.
So I started working in an area called socially responsible investing. And you know, through there, I saw that there was an opportunity to work with big companies in actually driving positive social change and impact.
Yeah.
So as a result, I, you know, had a vision for starting a company that would work with major brands and impacting on things like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Sure. So this is basically business with purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And at 888, in the intro, they were speaking about how it's an all-women agency. Why the decision to have just women? Is it because these women are just conscious beings?
I think that's one of the reasons potentially, but actually 80% of consumer purchase decisions globally are made by women.
Yeah.
But when you look at organizations and you look at the world, you know, women are underrepresented when it comes to leadership and when it comes to management positions, be it in government, in companies, you know, across the board.
Yeah.
What we felt is that our purpose as an agency, you know, we're working with many different brands and we're driving purpose for them. But what is our purpose as an agency? And we see our purpose as an agency to correct that gap.
Yeah.
And actually to work in terms of empowerment of women.
Yeah.
And we've adopted that as our purpose. As a result of that, what we've actually done is put together programs to mentor, develop, train, and empower women to adopt leadership positions.
Yeah.
And as you can see at 888, they've done so successfully.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the projects that you have under 888 that really stand out for you.
We, most of our work, in fact 60% of our work requires us to do impact programs. So we're working with very big multinational brands. We have Unilever, Reckitt Benckiser, Nestle, Danone. You know, those are just some of the clients that we're working with.
Yeah.
And what we do is understand the brand and drive strong purpose around the social needs that exist in whichever market we're working in.
Yeah.
So for example, you know, in Africa as a whole, hygiene and hand washing is an issue.
Yeah.
Where a lot of moms are, you know, don't necessarily understand the dynamics behind hygiene and, you know, bringing up their children. So as a result, we see high incidences of diarrhea, which we want to prevent. And, you know, diarrhea in Africa results in mortality.
Yeah.
So by educating moms about hygiene and hand washing, and here, you know, we have partnerships with government, we work in government clinics, we're actually able to save lives.
Yeah.
And even now with the coronavirus outbreak, it's become even more, you know, relevant as a subject.
And I suppose you are probably going to have your hands full now with getting the information out there and educating communities.
Pardon the pun, yes. We're going to have our hands full.
Yeah.
You know, it's really about hygiene and hand washing are the primary ways in which people can combat coronavirus. So that's the type of messaging we have. We've worked with cholera outbreaks. We actually bring brands on board when there are outbreaks of any types of disease, including cholera. We've worked with JIC, for example, as a brand in terms of helping government mobilize when there were cholera outbreaks in Africa.
And you speak a lot about government, and one of the things that is happening now, particularly around education, is this comprehensive sexuality education. And I know at Triple H you probably do a lot of work as well around educating young people about issues of sex education. How are you finding this debate around this comprehensive sexuality education? Because a lot of people are opposed to it, I guess, because of misinformation, meaning there is information that needs to go out there.
Absolutely. We developed Connect Ed in 2012, and it's a high school sexuality education program for youth.
Perfect, yeah.
And the idea behind Connect Ed is to empower youth to make better decisions. So it's about the chances you take and the choices you make. And we tell youth, do you feel fine when you cross the line? So we actually want to educate young people about what it means to cross that line. You know, South Africa has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, HIV and STIs in the world. And this is a subject that we just simply cannot ignore. And I think in terms of the debate, what's important to understand is that with a program like Connect Ed, having won the USAID Award for Excellence in Health Communication in Africa, we also have had 3 evaluations of that program, which have shown a massive increase in knowledge amongst youth, and it's also shown a decrease in teenage pregnancies where the program has been active. But the reason for this is that we use very strong psychology and very strong behavior change modeling. And what we've done is created a program that uses the dreams and aspirations of young people. All young people, when you're in high school, you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about your dreams, your aspirations, and we show them how a teenage pregnancy or an STI can actually be another barrier to overcome in trying to reach your dreams. And when you peg your sexuality health in that way against something that has got such a strong emotional value to a young person, you find that they will tend towards the right behaviors.
But Sarika, there's a lot of social issues in South Africa, and I can see Triple H is really trying its hardest to sort of try and have hands in a lot of these. But how do you then pick the ones that you want to focus on?
We start with two areas. So we look at the brand and what the brand stands for. We also then look at what issues there are in society. For example, youth unemployment is a big problem at the moment. And when working with the brands, we look at what difference that brand can make in that area. So what's going to be relevant for the brand, and also what's really important is what's meaningful for the people working behind the brand. Because this type of work has an impact in many different ways. We're impacting on society positively, but when it has purpose, behind a brand, the people actually working behind that brand feel so much more inspired and motivated. So, the work we do, impacts people on many different levels.
Sarika, thank you so much, and we hope you'll continue impacting people's lives, particularly here in South Africa and the rest of Africa.
Nelly, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Sarika Modi there joining us here on The Morning Show to speak about some of the work that they do as Triple H. And that's where we leave this conversation. There's more when we return here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned.